Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
So today we're jumping into something pretty special, a real sonic revolution in music,
Absolutely.
but one that, maybe surprisingly, kind of started by accident.
Yeah, it's a great story.
We're talking about the fuzz pedal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just, a piece of gear we're discussing. It's really about innovation, how things evolve.
And how, a broken sound almost literally became this huge thing.
Exactly. When you think fuzz, you probably imagine this thick, wall of sound, maybe aggressive.
Right, that classic broken amp roar.
But its origin is so much quieter, almost humble.
It really shows how innovation pops up in unexpected ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like from a faulty circuit.
Totally. So the big question for you listening is, how did a studio glitch, just a technical mess up, turn into maybe the sound of rock?
And why does it still matter so much today? It's endured.
That's what we're unpacking. The timeline, the tech, the players.
Yeah,
You'll get the key stuff. Okay, let's get into it.
let's do it.
So, starting right at the beginning, the accidental spark, they call it, early 60s.
Right.
Before anyone thought, let's build a fuzz pedal, engineers were already noticing something odd.
Mm-hmm.
They found that sometimes a faulty preamp transistor, it would clip the guitar signal, distort it.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
Like musically interesting.
Yeah, pleasingly, not just noise.
And there's a really specific moment for this. Nashville, 1961.
Okay.
Session guy, Grady Martin, legendary guitarist.
Hmm.
He's recording a demo for Nancy Sinatra. The track, interestingly enough, also called I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Wait, not the satisfaction?
No, different song, but yeah, kind of a funny coincidence. Anyway, his amp starts making this weird, squeaky, fuzzy sound.
Okay, so broken gear.
Yeah, they tracked it down. It was a bad transformer in the mixing console channel strip, actually.
Okay.
But Martin and the producer, Chips Moman, they didn't just fix it and move on. They listened.
Right.
They realized, hey, this is something new. This sounds cool.
That's incredible.
And that specific glitch, that faulty transformer sound,
Yeah.
that directly inspired the very first purpose-built fuzz circuit.
It really says something about being open to mistakes, doesn't it? Turning a flaw into a feature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If they'd have just swapped it out, who knows?
We might not be having this conversation, so that accidental sound needed to become, a product.
Exactly. Commercialization time.
What was the first one people could actually buy?
That would be the Maestro FZ1 fuzz tone. Gibson put it out in 1962.
Gibson. Okay.
It was designed to, basically copy that broken amp sound they'd heard.
Yeah.
Pretty simple circuit inside 2 or maybe 4 transistors, silicon ones.
So it was out in 62, but did it take off immediately?
Not really. It was kind of a slow burn initially.
Yeah.
The real breakthrough, the explosion, was 1965.
Ah, okay. What happened?
Keith Richards, the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
He plugged his guitar into an FZ1, then straight into his Vox AC30 amp for the riff on.
Satisfaction. The satisfaction.
The satisfaction, yeah.
Yeah.
And bam! Suddenly fuzz was the sound. It just cemented it in rock and roll forever.
Wow. One riff.
Pretty much. And there were variations pretty quickly. The FC1A had some minor tweaks for reliability.
Okay.
Then the FC1B came along, 66, I think. That was a redesign, ran on a 9-volt battery. And guess who redesigned it?
Who?
Robert Moog.
The Bob Moog. Synthesizer pioneer Bob Moog.
The very same. He used silicon PNP transistors in his version.
That's wild. Moog working on a fuzz pedal. What does that tell us?
Well, it shows that cross-pollination, right? Synth genius applying his mind to a guitar effect.
Yeah.
His redesign, switching to those silicon PNP transistors.
Yeah.
It suggests moving towards more, let's say, stable, predictable electronics.
Right, away from pure accident, more towards engineering.
Exactly. Those PNP transistors have different electrical characteristics and NPN types, affecting the gain, the tone. Moog was refining the concept.
Okay, so the Maestro, with a Moog twist, really kicks things off stateside. But the sound was taking over globally. What about the UK, the British invasion guys?
Oh yeah, they jumped on it fast. Builders over there started cloning the Maestro, tweaking it, improving it, racing to make their own versions.
So what were the key British ones?
2 really stand out from that mid-60s period. First, the Solasound Tone Bender MKI, mid-1965.
Tone Bender. Okay.
This one was different, used germanium transistors, 3 of them. Sold through Macari's music shop in London.
Germanium. So a different flavor to the Silicon Maestro.
Definitely. Germanium tends to be warmer, maybe smoother clipping, a bit more organic sounding, less harsh than early silicon. Guys like Jeff Beck used it.
On Heart Full of Soul.
That's the one. And Mick Ronson later with Bowie, like on Moonage Daydream, they loved it for its sustain, really rich sustain.
Okay, sustain. And the second big British one.
1966, the Dallas Arbiter fuzz face.
Ah, the fuzz face. Even the look is iconic, that round shape.
Totally. Also used germanium transistors, PNP type, like Moog's Maestro version, but germanium. What made the fuzz face special was how it reacted to your playing. It was really sensitive to your guitar's volume knob and how hard you picked. You could roll the volume back, and it would clean up beautifully. Roll it up, instant chaos.
Wow.
Just two knobs, volume and fuzz. Super simple, but incredibly expressive. Rock pioneers loved it for that.
So you've got the Maestro's bite, the tone bender sustain, and the fuzz face's dynamics. Different shades of fuzz emerging really quickly.
Exactly. Different sonic tools for different players, shaping the sound of the era.
And these tools didn't just sit on shelves. Artists grabbed them and made them part of their signature sound, became absolute hallmarks of late 60s rock.
Totally. It's not just about having the pedal, it's how they used it, integrated it.
Yeah.
Take Jimi Hendrix.
Fuzz face. Well,
Yeah, the fuzz face was crucial for him. Big Purple Haze, Foxy Lady, Voodoo Child.
classic.
He really exploited that thing where germanium fuzzes often have a low input impedance, that interaction with his guitar's pickups.
Meant he could do that volume knob trick.
Exactly. He could roll his guitar volume back and get this amazing range from searing fuzz down to almost a clean, sparkly tone, all without touching the pedal. It was part of his technique.
Incredible control, almost like another instrument.
Right. And then you've got Pete Townsend with The Who.
Okay, what was his fuzz weapon?
He used a Univox Super Fuzz, which was actually designed by a Japanese company called Shinai, originally branded Honey.
Univox Superfuzz. Got it.
He used that thing constantly for like a decade.
Yeah.
From 68 through 78. It had this really distinct sound, kind of a buzzsaw tone, because it added an octave up effect.
Octave fuzz.
Yeah, through octave rectification. Gave it that really aggressive cutting sound you hear on Who records from that time.
Yeah.
Powered those big rave ups.
So again, not just stepping on it, but finding the fuzz that fit his sound and style.
Precisely. They were sculpting with these things.
Okay, so we're in the late 60s. Fuzz is everywhere. But then another absolute legend arrives on the scene around 69.
Ah, yes. A big one.
Electro-harmonics enters the chat with the Big Muff Pie.
The Big Muff. A true heavyweight. And a different beast altogether, really.
How so? What was different about its design?
It was a 4-transistor design, but the circuit was more complex internally. You had like a clean boost stage first, then it hit dual clipping stages, and then a tone recovery stage.
Okay. What did that translate to, sound-wise?
Massive sustain. Just huge, thick, violin-like sustain was its signature. But it also had a passive tone stack, like on an amplifier, giving you more control over the EQ of that massive sound.
It wasn't just one version, right? It evolved.
Oh, yeah. Lots of iterations, especially through the 70s. You had the original triangle muff from 69 to 73, named for the knob layout.
Right.
Then the ram's head version from 73 to 77, which many people consider the classic muff sound. Later came op-amp versions, the green Russian ones in the 90s. It kept changing.
And who are the big names associated with the Big Muff?
So many. David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, famously.
Of course. Comfortably numb solo.
That's often cited, yep. Carlos Santana used one, too. And maybe surprisingly, Tony Peluso used a big muff on the guitar solo for the Carpenters song Goodbye to Love.
The Carpenters, seriously. A Big Muff.
Seriously. That beautiful, soaring, fuzzy guitar solo, Big Muff.
Wow. Okay, that completely shatters any stereotype about fuzz only being for heavy rock. That shows how versatile it became.
Exactly. It just delivered this incredible sustain that players across genres found useful.
So alongside these icons, the Maestro, Tone Bender, Fuzz Face, Big Muff things, we're getting even wilder in the late 60s and 70s, right? Lots of other fuzzes popping up.
Oh, absolutely. Dozens of offshoots, variations, completely new designs. It was a fuzz explosion.
You mentioned the Univox Super Fuzz that Townsend used. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, the Super Fuzz, made from 68 into the late 70s. Its key thing was that full wave rectification circuit.
Which gave it the octave effect.
Right. It generated both octave up and some subtle octave down harmonics, giving it that really biting, almost synth-like texture. And it had a mid-scoop switch, too, letting you choose between a full sound or one that cuts through a band mix better.
And Townsend loved it, but did others use it too?
Yeah, while he's the most famous early user, it had this whole second life later on. Grunge bands, stoner rock bands in the 90s and beyond really picked up on the Super Fuzz and its clones for its massive, sludgy sound.
So it had staying power. What else was out there? Any other notable ones?
Oh, loads. You had the Guild Faxi Lady, which was basically a big muff circuit in a different box. The Shinai Companion FY2 was another Japanese fuzz, known for a really intense, compressed, almost broken sound.
Okay.
And the Moss-Right Fuzz-Right. Very important early fuzz, used on garage rock stuff, like Iron Butterflies and Agata de Vida apparently used one. Those sources differ.
Fuzz right. Got it.
Each one had its own little twist on the basic idea, usually using germanium or silicon transistors, maybe tweaking the biasing or filtering. And yeah, many of these are super collectible now. Fierce followings.
It really sounds like a golden age of just pure sonic experimentation, everyone chasing their own fuzz vision.
It really was. A huge palette of fuzzy colors became available.
But, trends changed. The 80s arrived, and fuzz, well, it didn't disappear, but it wasn't quite the main event anymore, was it?
You're right. It definitely took a bit of a back seat in the 80s. You had the rise of smoother overdrive pedals, like the Tube Screamer, and then high-gain distortion built into amps or pedals.
Like the shredder sounds, the more polished rock tones?
Exactly. Hair metal, new wave. Fuzz maybe seemed a bit too, I don't know, messy or vintage for that slicker 80s aesthetic. Those newer sounds offered more clarity, maybe more control for some styles.
But then the 90s happened.
And boom, grunge explodes. And suddenly, fuzz is cool again. Very cool.
It was like the perfect sound for that raw, angsty vibe.
Totally. It was almost a reaction against that 80s polish. Bands like Nirvana, Mudhoney, Smashing Pumpkins,
Yeah.
they absolutely embraced fuzz, especially the Big Muff.
The Big Muff again.
Oh yeah, that huge wall of fuzz sound became a cornerstone of grunge. Kurt Cobain used a Big Muff. Billy Corgan famously used op-amp Big Muffs. Its rich sustain was perfect for those heavy, sludgy riffs.
So grunge really brought it back from the brink.
It absolutely reignited its appeal. And it wasn't just the Muff. You also started seeing small boutique companies pop up, making replicas of the classic tone benders and fuzz faces again. People wanted those old-school, wilder fuzz tones back.
Like a phoenix from the ashes moment for fuzz. It proved it wasn't just a 60s, 70s thing. Its appeal runs deeper.
Definitely. It found a whole new generation, a whole new context.
Which brings us more or less up to the present. Because the story didn't stop with the grunge revival. Since the late 90s, with the analog gear revival, there's been this incredible boutique pedal boom. And fuzz seems to be treated almost like an art form now by builders.
It really is. There's so much creativity.
Yeah.
You have to mention Zachary Vex and the Z-Vex Fuzz Factory, which came out around
A
94.
fuzz factory. I've heard that's unpredictable.
That's putting it mildly. It's a silicon-based fuzz, but with these incredibly interactive controls, gate, comp, stab for stability. You can dial in classic fuzz sounds, but you can also get just utter chaos. Squealing, oscillating, Velcro ripping noises.
Sounds fun.
It's amazing. It really defined that modern boutique spirit of pushing the envelope, not just copying the past.
And beyond the fuzz factory, what other kinds of innovations have we seen from, say, the 2010s onwards?
It's constantly evolving. We see pedals using hybrid setups, maybe combining germanium and silica transistors in one circuit to get the best of both worlds.
Interesting.
More sophisticated octave fuzzes, polyphonic ones even. Tiny mini pedal versions of classic fuzzes with true bypass switching so they don't suck your tone when they're off.
Right. Practical improvements.
And even really advanced digital modeling, DSP emulations that get scarily close to capturing the nuances of specific vintage units, quirks and all.
Wow.
So now players have this insane range. You can get pristine recreations of vintage tones, or you can get these completely mutated, futuristic fuzz textures that nobody could have dreamed of back in '61.
It's just astounding, isn't it? From that faulty transformer
To this.
to this incredibly diverse, vibrant world of fuzz. It really is an art form now. Endless sonic options. So let's wrap this up. What's the takeaway here? We've gone from this, like you said, serendipitous studio error
A happy accident.
all the way to what's now, seriously, a multi-billion-dollar slice of the music gear industry.
It's huge.
And the whole journey, its evolution, it just reflects how musicians are always hungry for new sounds, new textures, new ways to express themselves.
Absolutely. And the great thing is, whether you're chasing that really specific, brittle bite of an old tone bender MKI,
Right.
or you want that smooth liquid sustain of a Big Muff, or maybe you want the completely unpredictable edge of chaos thrill of something like a Fuzz Factory. There's a fuzz out there for you. There's a circuit designed for pretty much any sonic vision you might have.
So the final thought for you, listening, what does this journey mean? Maybe it's a reminder that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't come from a grand plan.
Right. They come from mistakes, from accidents, from things seeming broken or out of place.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other accidental discoveries are out there waiting to reshape things? Maybe our sound, maybe something much bigger.
It's a good thought. Keep listening, keep experimenting.
Definitely. And maybe listen a little closer to your favorite tracks, old and new. You might be surprised where you hear that unmistakable sound of fuzz.